Okay, so we are here with Kajo and Budjette of Trese. This is for Komikon Grande Online 2020. And for everybody who is following the trivias we are posting every day in the Komikon Facebook page, Trese was first released, the indie version was first released in the first Comic-Con, which is noong October 2005. Therefore, they are also celebrating their 15th year.
You've been doing 15 years of Trese. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks to you guys as well.
Yeah. And congrats.
Or otherwise, without Comic-Con, you would have published Trese on your own? Have you ever thought of that?
Ikaw, Kajo. Oo.
Actually, di ba, sa atin lang yun, Budj, di ba? Ano lang yun eh.
Correct.
Hobby lang yun.
Tell us how Trese started.
Yeah.
I think I'll let Kajo answer that question because I keep answering that one. No, but that's an interesting question. Kung walang Comic-Con, ano kaya nangyari sa Trese? Siguro nasa Comic Quest pa rin tayo.
Oo nga, no?
O, di ba? Tapos parang okay lang tayo na, sige, mga 50 copies dito, 50 copies dyan. Tapos, actually, after Comic Quest, dun nag-expand na tayo sa sa Comic Odyssey tsaka Druid's Keep.
Druid's Keep, oh my God.
So sad. Speaking of Comic Odyssey, Comic Quest.
Comic Quest, yes. Exactly. I mean, even before Trese, tambayan namin yung Comic Quest nung simula pa ng Alamat days.
Yeah. And most of yung Alamat books I bought sa Comic Quest sa may Mega Mall.
Yep.
When they were still up dun sa may katabi ng National Bookstore.
Correct. That was the best spot.
Yeah.
That was the best spot.
So I remember yung displays nila ng Alamat. Those were yung pasad nila were parang sobrang lalaking posters, no?
Lalaki ng posters sa liliit ng comics. But yes,
Budj, Comic Quest ba yun nasa galeriya? Comic Quest ba yun?
That was Comic Quest sa Mega Mall. Sa galeriya yung Platinum Comics.
Platinum.
Tapos tumatambay naman tayo dun sa Cyber Cafe. So, nung early days ng Alamat, kung hindi sa Cyber Cafe, tumatambay kami. Sa
Alam mo yun, Budj?
Oo naman. So that goes to show Kajo was really there during the early days. There was a milk tea. So back in the 90s, meron na nagpasok ng milk tea. Meron pangalan niya the tea bar, which didn't sound so good.
Hindi nag-hit eh.
Oo.
Masyadong advanced.
Oh, like 10 years in advance. But there, sorry. So go, Kajo, why don't you tell from your point of view, then I'll tell them from my side of things.
Paano nagsimula yung Trese? Bored lang sa trabaho. Kailangan lang namin ng distraction kasi syempre advertising, masaya naman sa advertising pero hindi palagi. So parang may mga oras na naghihintay ka ng revisions, naghihintay ka ng feedback, naghihintay ka ng clearing, ganyan. So parang nasasayangan ako dun sa mga oras na walang ginagawa. Siyempre, parang hindi mabitawan yung comics eh. Hindi mabitawan yung itch na mag-drawing, magkwento, ganyan. So, si Budj na naman lagi yung pinakamalapit. For some reason, laging magkalapit yung may kami parang kahit nung early days ng handicraft yung indie comic na ginagawa namin ng friend ko si Ner, kilala niyo si Ner.
Yeah.
Hindi na. Kay si Budj pa rin yung nilalapitan namin para magpa-edit, magpa-Xerox, ganyan. So parang nandoon na yung nandoon na yung may relationship. So nung nagtatrabaho kami ni Budj para sa agency, sister companies lang naman yun. So magkalapit lang din kami na building. So parang kung makikipag-collaborate ako with someone, mas maganda yung trusted ko na yung style. Tapos manlapit pa. So kung gusto namin mag-brainstorming, if ever, kung magkakaroon ng time na alam namin na medyo imposible minsan sa advertising. So si Budj kaagad yung una kong naisip na kulitin. So tinext ko lang siya, parang gawa tayo Budj kahit ano. Although before pala nung Trese, meron na kaming ginawa, experimental lang. Yung may mga drawing ako na 24 pages yun eh. Yun yung naging The Last Datu.
Yeah,
pinadala ko lang
sa Quintillion.
Oo, yun, sa Quintillion. Binato ko yun kay Budj para lagyan niya ng words kasi hindi yun eh hindi ko specialty. Alam kong matatahi niya yung mga drawing eh, mag-make sense. So binato ko sa kanya, tapos doon ko nakita na kung may gagawin kami together, alam kong magki-click. So yung time na yun na tinext ko siya, tara gawa tayo Budj kahit ano. Buti na lang meron sa lumang baul ni Budj, may mga nakatago na, may mga naka-ready na siya na ideas na pwedeng plansyahin, pwedeng i-develop. So yun, tinext ko siya, tara Budj, bato mo ako kahit ano. Tapos tingnan natin kung kaya kong gawin in 1 hour. Hindi ko pa inamis yung quality.
1 hour?
Oo, 1 hour lang yun. Hindi ko pa inamis yung quality, pinamis ko lang na matatapos. Parang, para i-prove ko lang na baka pwede natin gawin to pa rin. Kahit pa paano. So, ganun yung naging practice namin eh. 1 page a day in 1 hour. Kasi yun lang yung oras ko sa sa agency eh. Lunch break. Gagawin ko siya isang page during lunch break, tapos babato ko kay Budj after lunch. Ganun lang naging practice namin. I think nagtuloy-tuloy yun up to issue 3 yata or hanggang 4. Hindi ko na sigurado. Pero after nun doon na medyo
bumagal.
Nag-slow down na kasi parang gusto mo na pagandahin eh. Gusto mo na-realize mo na parang teka lang, baka may pupuntahan naman siguro to, baka pwede kong ayusin na yung drawing.
Ang nangyari yata may bumibili na ng comics, kaya sabi mo, kailangan na yata pagandahin to, may nagbabasa na talaga ng comics.
Nagbabasa na yun. Parang sayang yung bayad eh.
That was also the reason why 30 pesos namin pinrise yung original Trese. Parang naisip namin, para isipin nila hindi sayang yung bayad nila in case di nila mag-isipan.
Yeah, but it was yung photocopied versions pa, di ba? So,
ngayon, kahit yung photocopied versions, wala na nang mabibiling 30.
Oo nga, no?
Oo nga, di ba? Parang even like the first releases, 50 pesos or 100 pesos.
Yeah. Ganun na ngayon yung pricing.
Oo, correct.
So yung Trese, like sinabi ni Sir Kajo, was an old concept. Was a concept sitting na in your folders of stories.
Yes.
Na finlesh out nyo lang.
So 2005 ako tinext ni Kajo. 2002 was when I started the first draft ng Trese. But in truth, I guess you can also say na nagsimula kung sulatin yung Trese nung bata pa ako at nung after college. So parang it's all about yung mga kwento nga na narinig namin, as a kid, yung mga tungkol sa multo, tungkol sa aswang. And then in 1994 with Mark Gatella, me and Mark created a radio show, and it was actually Mark who thought of the name Anton Trese. So it's a radio show na yon. Si Mark nagsusulat ng script. Ako yung ginamit niya na boses. So ako yung actually boses ni Anton Trese dun sa radio show na yon. Tapos nung nasulat na niya siguro yung first couple of episodes, doon kami nagsalit-salitan kami. So we took turns writing the stories, and it was ghost stories set in the city. So parang noon pa, parang hindi pa siya, may isang episode pa kami doon na parang obviously, we were trying to copy Stephen King kasi meron kaming kwento, The Werewolves of Project 2. So parang werewolf pa.
Malapit kami dito. Malapit kami doon.
Oo.
Project 2.
Project 2 kasi si Mark. So nung high school kami, doon kami tumatambay dun sa bahay niya. So it's all of those stories eventually parang nahanapan lang talaga ng vehicle through Trese. So, and Trese was driven by this want of, doing a detective story pero make all the cases all about Philippine folklore and the supernatural. So yun. So yung unang drafts ni Trese, NBI agent siya, naging tabloid reporter. Tapos yun, so pinadala ko isang page kay Kajo where the Anton Trese tough guy character was beating up an aswang, buntot pagi pa yung gamit na weapon. So, tapos yun, pinadala ni Kajo a head sketch and that one page na drawing nga niya in 1 hour. Tapos yun, may nag-click lang talaga sa utak ko na parang nakita na natin to so many times. Tapos tinext ko lang kay Kajo, what if Trese was a woman? Tapos yun, nag-reply agad si Kajo na parang, badass yun, kick-ass siya. And somehow, yeah, the first sketch that Kajo sent me, there were no other designs. Parang nandun na yung buhok, nandun na yung angas sa itsura ni... yeah. Diyan medyo, chill siya dyan. Doon sa kabila. Yeah. Somehow na-establish na yun on the first sketch. And it just felt, and then yun, laking tulong na sinabi ni Kajo na dapat 20 pages lang siya. Kasi nung unang draft ng 13, siguro umabot na ako ng 20 pages, wala pa akong kalahati ng kwento eh. So nakatulong na binigyan ako ng deadline tsaka ng framework. And yun, napagkasya naman and it worked. Parang if you think about it nga, even like the original stories nila Stanley and Jack Kirby were like 16 pages long. Or si si Will Eisner was working with 13 pages. Kasi yun lang yung natitirang page count yata dati sa comics nila. Parang, 13 pages ka, ano gagawin mo dyan? Odd number pa eh. No?
Filler lang eh, filler.
Oo, filler lang yung The Spirit yata dati.
The Spirit, yeah.
So yun, and then yun, and yeah, and after we finished the first story, si Kajo yung nagsabi, nasaan na yung next script?
Yep, sinimulan nga agad namin yung next. Actually, di ba, Budj? Sinimulan kaagad natin yung next.
Yeah.
Tapos, after nung issue 2, ginawa namin yung 3, which is, siya, sa volume 1, ang third story is yung kay Dr. Burgos. Pero sa totoo, ang third story is yung Constellation.
Yep.
Diba? Yun yung third na story na binato sa akin ni Budj.
Yep.
So, dun ko nakita yung potential na mukhang may pupuntahan tong ginagawa natin kahit pa paano.
Yun yung yung my one of the unforgettable moments sa Bahay ng Alumni. I think we just released the third issue, Our Secret Constellation. May lumapit sa akin sa table namin sa Bahay ng Alumni during Komikon. So that might have been 2006 already. So lapit sa akin yung guy, sabi niya, I hate you. Sabi ko, ano ginawa ko? Sabi niya, I hate you. You made me cry. Tapos hawak-hawak niya yung Our Secret Constellation.
Shucks.
So tangkad pa siya sa akin, parang ano gagawin niya sa akin.
That's cool.
Okay, so kay Sir Kajo, yung una naming exposure, nakabili naman ako before nung handicraft comics ninyo ni
Yikes. Okay.
Pero mas nasundan ko yung ginagawa mo when you were doing yung anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, yung
Dati
anyway,
tawag ko
yung
sa kanya,
NWA.
Noah. Ano ba ito, Noah? Yung pala ito, sinabi sa akin. Anyway, yun.
Ang saya nun, ang saya nun.
So, yun. You were doing that before. May iba, so aside from that and yung Trese, meron ka pa bang ibang ginawang comics? Or are you thinking of doing your own comics pa?
Well, for now, yung ano ko lang, parang sa Instagram ko lang pinapost yung walang kwentong walang kwenta. Pero ano lang yan, another outlet yun eh. Parang another thing na para lang yung paggawa ng comics eh nasa isip ko everyday. Alam mo yun? So nandun siya. So kahit wala pa yung script ni Budj, gagawa lang ako para hindi kalawangin yung ano ko, yung storytelling. Pero
eventually, would you be compiling yung walong kwento?
Siguro pag may mga enough stories na worth compiling. Sa ngayon kasi parang sobrang trip lang siya eh. Kung ano lang maisip ko at the moment, gawin ko. Tapos parang pero it's not necessarily parang ewan ko, hindi ko pa nakikita na ano siya, na worth siya i-print. Sayang yung papel, di ba? So, pag may naipon, may enough, baka. Pero for now, Trese lang talaga focus muna sa Trese. Kasi, actually, ngayon ginagawa, kakatapos ko lang ng isang Trese, story na lalabas. Pero, kailangan ko nang gawin yung volume 8, tsaka volume 8 for Avenida. Tapos volume 2 for Ablaze. So medyo puno na ng Trese. So hindi na ako pwede gumawa ng kahit ano. Kasi re-redraw ko rin yung volume 2 ng Ablaze eh. So parang start ulit sa from zero.
Segue dun yung issue of redrawing. What can you say about your art style during the span of 15 years? I know na na-touch upon mo na syempre yung first 3 issues were looser style kasi sa the way that you worked nga before. So ano yung progression nung art style? Paano mo na pick yung style na yon for Trese?
Yeah, can you get yung
we
saw yung isang issue mo like when you started it was yung all blacks and whites na ganyan. Tapos,
when you were doing this was traditional pa ba or digital?
Traditional. Siguro nag-start ako ng digital sa ano pa yung volume 3. Volume 3 pa.
Yeah, doon namin actually yung mga later nagawa mo yung may mga scratches na, yung mga may texture na gano'n. So, hindi na siya yung plain blacks and whites lang. So, tell us about yung transition mo from yung start hanggang sa ngayon.
Ano ba to? Kasi, yung ano ko kasi, yung style na lumalabas, kung makikita niyo, hindi ako consistent eh. Wala akong consistent na style sa Trese. Pag tinignan mo bawat case, nag-iiba siya. Kasi, ano siya, depende siya sa time na meron, saka depende rin siya sa story na kinukwento. Depende siya dun sa sinulat ni Budj. So parang kung ano yung pakiramdam ko sa kwento, yun yung lumalabas sa drawing. Tapos, so kung masasabi ko ngayon yung progression is parang nagiging ano lang siya, pwede ko sabihin nagiging refined dahil lang mas may oras ako. From 1 hour nagkakaroon, parang meron na ako, at least makakapag-spend na ako ng 7 hours sa 8 hours sa isang page. So, mas napag-iisipan yung storytelling. Ganun. So, actually pag nakita niyo yung Ablaze edition, Hindi ko lang siya ni-redraw na same paneling. Inayos ko din yung storytelling tsaka yung layouts konti. Kasi parang syempre natuto ka na ng konting ng pacing na medyo may nag-improve yung pacing. Tapos mas maraming oras so mas napag-iisipan. Although ano ka rin kasi quirk, hindi ko every page na natatapos ko or every volume na natatapos ko parang siya lagi siyang hindi sufficient. Alam mo yun, yung after every volume pag tinignan ko ulit yung trabaho, hindi na siya ganun kaganda for me. So parang siguro maganda yung in a way kasi gusto mong mas pagandahin yung next.
Yeah.
Pero medyo dangerous yun kasi parang may tendency ka maging perfectionist kaya tumatagal yung trabaho. So hanggang ngayon after 15 years tinatry ko pa rin balansehin yun. Tinatry ko pa rin balansehin yung
compromise between moving forward and rather than dwelling on making it perfect.
Kasi hindi siya lalabas kasi so totoo lang naman, 'di ba? Wala naman talagang tapos na page. Parang kailangan mo lang ipasa kasi.
Lagi kong sinasabi sa mga nakaka-work ko na artist kasi meron tendency talaga na after mo mag-progress na ilang pages, mag-i-evolve talaga yung art mo. Tapos ang tendency would be, ulitin ko tong 4 na una kong ginawa. Hindi, move forward tayo.
Yun. Pero sa Ablaze edition, pinilit ko talaga, hindi kailangan kong i-redraw lahat. Kasi parang 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 in a way, parang mas malaking stage kasi ito So gusto mong mas parang gusto mo ipakita na una gusto ko pa rin maging worth it dun sa bumibili.
Dollars na yung bayad Dollars.
Dollars na. Medyo
ibang market.
Parang naging 3 times, 4 times yung presyo. Parang ayoko naman ibigay yung artwork na ginawa namin 10 years, 15 years ago.
Si Budjette naman, anong reaction mo kapag sinasabi ni Kajo na gusto ko i-redraw itong whole thing na to?
Nakakabahan yung si Budj.
Pakita mo, Kajo, yung mga napakahaba kong email sa'yo.
Kinakabahan yun si Budj sigurado.
Ang haba-haba ng mga email ko kay Kajo na parang isang email ko kay Kajo. Kaj, let's not do a George Lucas.
Oo nga
We remaster everything.
Everything
But yeah, I mean, I think it all came out for the best. I mean,
I saw yung previews, ganda.
And if you think about it, sinimulan din ni Kajo yung pagka-redraw because we did Indiegogo. It started with the Indiegogo project, and definitely that caught the attention of Ablaze. Also, ang ganda ng timing that the Netflix announcement came out in 2018. So, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Kaj, one of the reasons why we also did the Indiegogo project. So the main point ng Indiegogo project was, the question was, how do we reach a global audience? Na parang okay naman, nakakatuwa na we get email from readers, outside of the Philippines. Tinatanong kami, paano ba umorder ng Trese from you guys? And syempre, we, direct them to Visprint, pero syempre yung shipping is like, twice the price. And we just thought that, si Kajo was the one who first noticed that, there are these, because for me, Kickstarter yung una kong narinig, di ba? Na gumagawa, na indies or making projects there. Ngayon, pati si Keanu Reeves may Kickstarter na rin.
Yeah.
So Kajo said, "Oh, take a look at this, projects on Indiegogo," and it worked out. But the other story behind that is actually at the beginning of 2018. We pitched Trese to one of the US publishers, and we got a very nice rejection letter from that publisher.
Can you tell us which publisher, or you don't want to tell us?
Secret.
O kasi sana magtrabaho pa rin kami doon sa publisher.
Sige,
Natanggap na kami doon, kwento namin na parang
Pag nakachamba na kami.
oo, parang tandaan nyo, ni-reject nyo kami noon eh.
Pero di ba, ang dami naman talagang ganyang stories. Parang si Kirkman, di ba? Ang daming pitches na binigay hanggang ma-approve yung Invincible sa yung Walking Dead niya.
Correct. Like, nakakatuwa pa yung kwento ni Kirkman na he lied to Jim Valentino na sinabi niya, it's about zombies, but the zombies come from outer space.
Yeah, they were looking for something more sci-fi. He was promising them aliens and other stuff.
Sabi ni Valentino, mga issue 3 na yata yun, issue 4. Natanong, where are the aliens?
Yeah, speaking about other stories, Sir Budj. Before Trese, I know yung work mo before sa Alamat. You were writing other comic books. Any plans of doing new comics? Since you've been expanding the Trese universe for 15 years. I've seen a lot of books na, and there are spin-offs na, di ba? And you're gonna be releasing a spin-off book this December.
Yes.
Are you planning to revisit some of your older works, like sa Batch 72, Ultra Cops, those?
That's an interesting question. I think if the characters come back and say they have something new to tell, then maybe we'll tell it. Parang it has come up. I mean, I've seen I found my old files of Batch 72. Na by the way, si Kajo ang nag-letter at nag-layout.
Yeah.
That was one of our projects in the past before Trese. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to be able to, like for example, I've got a Flying Phantom story just lying around, and what I tried to do in that story was I tried to compress. Me and Bo have all of these grand plans of, like, an issue where he fights this, that, an issue where he goes to the Pacific, goes to the Philippines, fights a war in Germany, goes to Japan. So I wrote a story na 24 pages siya na lahat yun nangyari. Alam mo yun, just to be able to say, nasulat ko na lahat ng dapat isulat tungkol kay Flying Phantom. Same with Batch 72. But I guess Batch was really fueled by, I mean, it was written during that time na tumatambay kami sa Club Dread, kikinig kami sa NU107, alam mo yun, hinahabol-habol namin yung mga banda na paborito namin, sila Kukichua, alam mo yun. So, we were living and breathing that those times. So, ngayon na nawala na siya, parang it's I don't know how to go back to that.
Well, maybe that's how you go back to it. I mean, you said you were living your life nung Batch 72 when you were writing it. Why don't you revisit the characters now? What are they doing now? I suppose, like us, they move on from that life now.
Parang ano na yung
so yeah, it's where are they now? What are they doing?
Correct. So yeah, I mean that's been suggested before, so we'll see. I mean, especially now. I mean, I think you know, having Seraph, having a 4-year-old boy running around all the time, just changes the stories you want to tell.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Budj,
maybe.
ayoko nga. Sige, sorry.
Yeah.
Naalala ko lang yung ano eh. Sorry, naalala ko lang yung Alamat 101 eh.
Oh.
Well, hindi, sige. Sige,
Oo.
ano lang, na ano, sa December na lang.
Uy, may parang
Teaser,
may
teaser.
something.
Teaser. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, and talking, and just one last thing about Batch. I mean, there was an attempt, and actually before me and Kajo collaborated on Trese, there was an attempt to reboot Batch 72, and we pitched it to MTV Inc. I don't know if you remember that magazine.
Yeah.
And Kajo actually, I asked Kajo to draw 4 pages of that, reintroducing the band. But yun eh, parang I remember also there was one of the glossy magazines reviewed Batch 72. Tapos parang ang sabi pa nung reviewer, and this is already siguro what? Yeah, mga 2000s. Tapos parang sabi nung reviewer, a teenage kid was the one that reviewed it. Na parang I really love how nostalgic this comic book is, talking about the 90s. How nostalgic.
It was written in there.
Oh, parang ilang taong ka na ba? So yeah. I mean, I think it would be, you know, or yeah, even if it's a one-shot special, it would be great to go back to
Ang
that.
8-hit combo, Budj.
Yeah. So we renamed it 8-hit combo. Kasi nga 8 sila at combo nga sila. Tapos medyo uso pa nun yung mga video games na may mga blank hit combo. So I thought that would be a good title.
So balik tayo sa Trese. How many stories for Trese do you have in line? Meron ka bang definite na sinusundang game plan na for Trese, and have you plotted it out hanggang end?
Yeah. Actually, I asked that also before nung in-interview ka ng IKP about yung 13 Trese being 13 books. If you remember that. Ayun. So, ano nga ba yung plan for Trese?
Yeah, it's still the same. It's still 13 books. Have we plotted it out? No.
Yun yung fun eh, di ba?
Kami ni Kajo have already talked how it ends or where we want it to end.
May mga vague ideas kami kung ano yung 11, ano yung 12, at saka yung ano yung 13.
Nagbabago-bago.
Nagbabago-bago. Tsaka yung papunta doon, ano pa, hindi pa planchado, pero may destination na.
Yeah. And then I don't know if it's gonna change, but basta a couple of years ago, me and Kajo were talking about, how does this all end? And then Kajo actually drew that I'm calling it the last page of Trese. So it's just like para siyang lighthouse. It's just a guide to like, okay, that's where we want to go. But we don't know. That could be, right now, the way things are going, it might be the last page, or it could be the first page of book 13. I don't know.
Actually.
So we'll see.
So yung ang hot topic sa Trese fan page would be yung Netflix series. Tapos, dun sa designs na ginamit for the series, may say ba kayo doon, particular si Kajo? Do you have a say on how they...
Like, may pinapa-approve ba sa inyo yung designs? Or they ask for your opinion?
Were you consulted? No.
Consulted, pero wala kaming approval. Ewan ko sa kwento sa side ni Budj, pero sa akin visually, wala. Which is, okay lang ako doon. Parang, Mas gusto ko yung freedom na meron kami ni Budj, meron din sila.
Yeah.
Pero respect na may ano naman sila, may respeto sila enough para kunin yung ano namin, yung input namin dun sa comics, sa design ng mga characters tsaka yung ng world sa comics, dun sa books. So nung nag-meet kami 2018 ba yun, Budj? Basta December, 2018, 2 years ago. Nag-meet kami, lumipad ako from Davao. Nag-meeting kami sa Makati, nagstay ako doon ng isang araw. Yung nakalimutan ko yung pangalan ng, sino ba yung Budj?
Art director.
Art director.
Jojo.
Si Jojo, oo. Kami yung mas nag-uusap kasi sila direct, story yung nila pinag-uusapan nila ng team niya. Pero kami ni Jojo, kami yung nag-usap kung bakit ko siya dinesign na ganito. Ano mo yun? Bakit ano yung behavior ng banks ni Trese, ganyan. Tanong niya. siguro kasi sa isip nila, inaalam na nila kung paano i-animate Parang siguro yung sa comics, parang hindi natin pwedeng gawin yan, yung drawing mo.
Maraming plantado.
Actually, may funny story doon. May funny question. Kasi nagtanong ako sa wall ko if they wanted to ask you a question. Bakit daw lumiit yung hairline niya? Yung hairline niya sa anime. So, yun na yung nasagot. Nasagot na.
So, parang yung meeting na yung tingin ko is para lang malaman nila yung rules visually nung mundo ni Trese. Para kung alam na nila yung rules, alam nila kung paano i-break kung kailangan. Tingin ko yun yung meeting na yun. Pero wala silang dinidesign na kailangan kung ayan, wag ganyan or wala akong ganun, which is okay lang sa akin yun.
Yeah, same with the story. Ako naman, I got on a call with them. Same time, Jay was in Manila, and then he was already with the writing team. So I got to meet the other writers of the series. So yun, it was also good to know that they got Pinoys to write it. At the same time, they got writers who already are either a mix of like their young voices, but at the same time, they've already done their own movies. So they're experienced in that way. And even our producer Tanya Yuson, who was responsible for pitching this, is also part of the writing team. So yun, nagkwentuhan kami, same with Kajo. And then sabi, yung sa simula ng meeting, ang sabi ko lang sa kanila, please don't give her a pink trench coat and don't give her a talking cat as a pet. Sabi ko, okay na. Siyempre nagpatawa si Jay, wow, but that was our first idea. And at the same time yun, I mean, thinking about it, Tanya and Kajo have been talking about Trese for over 10 years.
10 years,
So I think in those 10 years, pati si Tanya has already, gotten to know Trese and our ano ba yung plano namin sa kanya. So I think she was the one that became our representative in making sure that it stays close to the comics.
Tingin ko nga mas protective pa si Tanya kaysa sa amin
Oo.
Yeah, medyo yung may emotional investment na rin sila ni Shanti dun after a decade, di ba?
Oo. I mean, they're the one. I think baka pwede namin ikwento to after lumabas na yung series, but they've been, they've flown to film festivals in Europe. They've gone to LA. They've met with studios in Singapore and Japan and Indonesia. So talagang, lagare in terms of pitching Trese. And yun, parang same with the comics, na parang madaming rejection, madaming compromises, na parang, sige, game yan, pero ganito lang perang bibigay namin sa inyo. So parang sila Tanya rin wasn't like, would say, uy, umuos yung director na to, pero ganito lang yung budget. So, they can already see the special effects won't be good enough if you say yes to that kind of money. So they were also looking for, a good partnership and quality production. So I think, so one of the things that I did get to read is the scripts. So I've read the scripts for the entire season, and they've done a great job, I think, and they were mostly inspired by the first 3 books. So they got stories from the first 3 books, and somehow they made it into a season. Pati ako, nagulat ako na parang, na-connect nyo tong kwento na to, tsaka tong kwento na to.
Wow.
Ako wala akong idea. Zero.
Oh.
Wala akong idea kung ano yung kwento. As in yung teaser, yung first 2 images na pinakita nila, yun din yung first time ko na nakita yung images na yun. So
yun lang pa rin yung nakikita ninyo. You haven't seen any clip? You haven't seen any?
Ako may nakita na si Budj. Ako wala.
Ang nakita ko yung and again, they are so strict with their contract with Netflix, is that they technically can't email anything to me in Kajo. Mm-hmm. So the only reason I got to see these things is because umuwi ako for Christmas. So pumunta ako sa bahay ni Tanya, and then Tanya showed me the scripts. And then from her phone, pinakita niya sa akin, ito na yung design ni Trese. Ito yung design ng kamba. But yeah, my favorite, of course, out of the 2 images was the one where Trese was looking out the window. Right? Yeah. And if you can see the amount of detail they put on that background art, that's the same kind of detail they put on the rest of the series. So doon nakita ko isang background image. Sabi ko, ang gandang ano to, mood drawing or ano. Sabi ni Tanya, no, that's the actual backdrop of the city. So super detailed yung, ang galing. But there, so yeah, we hope that I don't know if they will do one more announcement this year, but definitely by early next year they'll have more info on when the series starts.
Actually, meron na ditong super advanced na question for yung Netflix series. How many seasons daw? That's from Gerald Uy, actually.
That's entirely up to you guys and everyone watching.
Yeah.
And everyone who will watch. I mean, we've all heard the stories of some shows. I mean, you can now see Stranger Things hitting season 4, Castlevania hitting season 4, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then some shows just last for a season. So it's tingnan natin ang power ng Pinoy to binge watch.
Yeah, pero you have may market na rin kayo sa abroad, di ba? Like yun. You'll be publishing na rin sa...
Yeah, but they're already doing that with the Blaze.
See. So, hindi lang Pinoy ang susupport sa Trese, for sure.
I mean, we're also doing... I mean, thanks to Ablaze, of course, they're also doing their ways of promoting Trese. So, one of the... I can now say that Trese came out in a US Komikon, except it was the library con. and it was my first time to learn about it. And yun, it's a convention for librarians. And ang cool nun is that ang sabi ko, iniisip ko lang, please dapat may isang Pinoy na mag-attend ng talk ko. True enough, may isang Pinoy. And he is the librarian for the San Francisco Public Library. Cool. And ang kwento niya is that he has been building a selection of Pinoy titles over there. So yun. So at least he is already planning something for next year for me and Kajo to give an online talk for their library. So I think I think that's for now. I'm hoping that we can at the very least start with the Pinoy community sa States, and then sana kumalat yung balita from there.
Yan. I guess kung may conventions pa sana, no? I mean, actual comic conventions, you'll be attending si Budj.
Sana may libreng vaccine pagpasok mo sa convention.
True.
Ano daw, hi daw from Steph Bravo.
Oh.
Si Kajo, with regards
Sa box ulit. Balik
sa
tayo sa box.
books ulit, balik tayo sa books. Well, actually, for the both of you, sino yung favorite character ninyo sa Trese? Do you have a favorite character sa Trese?
Favorite? Siguro yung, syempre, na hindi kasali yung main.
Yeah.
Kasi syempre, si Alexandra, di ba, parang given.
Given.
Tambal. Pero siguro masasabi kong pinaka-paborito kong character aside from yung sa mga main is si Madam.
Okay. Si Budjette?
Now I guess it will be Jimmy. Parang it's like I now have a great excuse to write my mashup version of Lupin the Third, Ninjas, and ano pa ba? And Gambit.
Oh, yeah.
Si Jimmy, na?
Pero si Kajo, would you design meron ka bang design ng characters over the years na gusto mong palitan? Or okay ka pa naman sa designs na gawa mo sa mga characters?
Actually, yung Bloodlines na lalabas, yung bagong libro, is isa siya sa mga parang opportunity para i-redesign si Alexandra mismo. Parang marami akong designs na gustong explore with Trese. Hindi kasi parang ang idea kasi nung bagong libro is parang in a way may mga dun may mga what if. So parang yun yung way para ma-explore ko kung ano pang pwede kong i-tweak kay Alexandra mismo. Pero actually, yung design is i-justify nun syempre yung mag-justify yun with the story.
Magandang exercise yun. Tapos kung may magkakaroon ng toy opportunities, mas maraming variants.
Variants kagad na iisip eh. Ayun. So,
parang yung di ba? That's what's happening now with Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo's Batman. Parang lahat nila ng klaseng Batman, doon nila nilabas.
Tapos si Todd McFarlane is having a ball making toys.
Yes. I mean, I think you find parang he's it's obviously up his alley yung ganung klase mga design, di ba? So
yeah, it's Capullo.
Oo nga.
Oo nga pala, si Capullo.
Baka may backdoor dealing silang dalawa. I'm gonna do this stuff. Tapos meron ka ng inside track. Ito yung gagawin natin.
Oo nga, no. But I mean, I did find that deal curious and interesting na parang bakit DC. But yeah, I mean, ang ganda ng lahat ng mga lineup niya. So
yeah, I just wish na iniba nila yung scale para lang ka-scale siya ng ibang toyline.
Actually, if talking about alternate designs, sinimula na rin ni Kajo yun sa Trese Light. So
yeah, I saw.
There have been,
I have yung postcard book and ang ganda nun. It's sort of like an art book na rin. Why did you decide that it should be a postcard book instead of an outright art book?
Mas may substance lang yung mga drawing kung may story behind it. So yung binabato ni Budj na yung mga naisip ni Budj na kwento based dun sa pictures, mas nagkakaano lang, mas may laman lang yung mga drawing. True. Kesa sa outright na art book lang. Diba?
Okay, so yung Bloodlines ito, with regards, it's basically a spin-off of Trese. or an expansion of the universe. Are you the sole writer, or did you invite other writers to collaborate? Was it all planned by you, or did you call for submissions or something?
Yep.
So, final words na lang. Marami na naman silang natutunan from this. I mean, we have yung insights nyo for the Netflix series, and we will meron na rin tayong, we touch upon yung Bloodlines, which will be coming out this December. Yeah. So final words para dun sa fans nyo.
December, yep.
And yung, of course,
Or,
yung perpetual question of everyone: when will be the next book? Trese.
Yep. Kajo kind of mentioned it earlier. We're starting on book 8. So it will be done when it's done. And of course, we've got the Ablaze edition of book 2 coming out next year. And yeah, to you guys and to everyone who attends Komikon, thank you very much for 15 years of supporting us. We found so many new readers through Komikon, people who were lining up for Manix, sa nakita lang nila, uy, ano to? So thanks to those guys, and they came back the following year. So yes, thank you very much to all you guys for supporting Trese and for promoting Trese all these years.
Okay. Sir Kajo.
Ayun, salamat din sa hanggang ngayon sumusuporta pa rin sa Trese at saka sa Komikon. Diba? Maraming salamat. Tapos konting patience lang dahil sinusubukan naming gawin yung makakaya namin para matapos siya. Pero hindi katulad nung na first volumes ng Trese, ayoko na siyang madaliin eh. wala na ako dun sa ganung mindset. So konting patience, salamat din dun sa mga naghihintay hanggang ngayon. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And
And
Kajo.
again, congratulations sa 15 years nyo. Congratulations
Kayo rin.
sa
Yan.
Netflix series. And of course, alam ko magiging multi-season yan.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Thank you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yep.